Hey folks, thanks for tuning into the channel. Today I got an easy recipe for you for honey garlic chicken. This recipe is super easy to make. You can make it in just under 20 minutes. It involves minimum ingredients and it's great for a quick weeknight supper. I'm just going to take a minute to go through the ingredients with you and then we can get to cooking. Here I have the 6 main ingredients to make the chicken. Here we have about a cup or maybe a little bit over a cup of honey. We have about 1 to 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, have about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. I always use the minced garlic, so I usually use about 3 or 4 teaspoons of minced garlic, but if you're using fresh garlic, you can use about 3 or 4 fresh cloves. Here I have about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. You can also use white vinegar if you prefer, or apple cider vinegar. Here I have the all-purpose flour. It's about 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, which we're going to use to put on the chicken, which makes the chicken nice and crispy when you fry it in the pan. And here I have about 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast. It's about 4 boneless, skinless chicken breast diced up into chunks. The funnest part about cooking is really making the recipe fit to your taste profile and what you like. So if you like to have a lot more garlic in your recipes, you can add more garlic. If you like it a little bit sweeter, you can add more honey, or less honey if you like it less sweet. And you can really play around with these ingredients to make sure that it really fits how you want it to taste. Important to note that I'm using 4 chicken breasts here, or about 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast. So if you want to make less chicken than this, say you only want to make about 1 pound of chicken, then you can just take all the ingredients here and then cut it by half. Or if you're just making 1 single chicken breast, you can take about 1/4 of all the ingredients that are here. First thing we're going to do before we start the chicken is we are going to make the sauce. I'm going to start with the honey. Then I'm going to add in our soy sauce. Then I'm going to add in our white wine vinegar. Once you have those ingredients in the bowl, you can start mixing them up. The honey is going to be a little bit thick, so it's going to take some time to get everything properly mixed together. At this point, I'd like to mention again that you should really be making this recipe your own and how you like it. For example, if you like it a little bit spicier, you could add some hot sauce or some red chili flakes or something right into the sauce to give it that little bit of a kick. But for today, I'm just going to keep it as is. Now that the sauce has been completed, you can move on to the chicken. So there's not much to do here. You just really want to take the chicken and take that flour, and you want to incorporate the flour in with the chicken. So I like to usually do, since it's 4 chicken breasts, just kind of do it half of the flour at a time. And you want to mix that in and make sure that you really get each piece coated with that flour. You're going to want to preheat your pan with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. So just turn your pan on to about medium high heat to just get it warmed up with the oil in the pan before you put the chicken in. All right, once you have your pan preheated, you can go ahead and start adding in the chicken. Once the chicken starts to cook more on the bottom, you can start to flip over the individual pieces to get it browned and cooked on both sides. While the chicken is cooking behind me there, I just wanted to take a quick second to say thanks for watching the video, especially if you made it this far. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like, leave a comment down below, and please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. If you have any ideas of any other recipes you'd like to see me make, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll try my best to make whatever you want to see. Once that chicken is just about cooked, what I like to do is just add a little bit of olive oil to the pan, and then once you have that olive oil in there, you go ahead and just add in your garlic. If you didn't add your garlic into the sauce, just take all that garlic and put it right into the pan. what that does, I find it just it just cooks the garlic a little bit. It really only takes about 30 seconds or a few minutes on the heat here to get it browned up a little bit. And you want to be really careful with this because you can burn garlic actually really quickly. If the pan is a little bit too hot or you leave it on for too long, the garlic will burn and it just doesn't taste nearly as good. So let me mix that in. Now, once that garlic is starting to get a little browned up, what you can do then is you can just take your sauce and you can just pour that right into the pan. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have used a larger pan for this amount of chicken and this amount of sauce, but that's okay because we're all about learning here. I feel like I learn new things every single time I cook a dish, even if it's a dish that I've made a million times before. You want to get the chicken nice and coat it in the pan with the sauce and all that garlic. I know the sauce looks a little watery right now with the chicken in it, but once this starts to cook and starts to bubble a little bit, that sauce will thicken right up. Once you have the chicken fully covered in the sauce, you can just wait for it to start to boil a little bit and that sauce will reduce down. And then that's pretty much it for making the chicken. It should be done in a few minutes. So the chicken is done cooking and the sauce has thickened. So all that's left to do now is serve the chicken. So this is your recipe. So if you want to have it over rice or potato or just vegetables, it's really up to you. Just remember that this is your recipe, and at the end of the day, you're the one eating it and you need to be happy with the flavors. All right, so the chicken is done and the sauce is done. I poured it out into this little bowl here. It's time for the taste test. That's really good. It's salty from the soy sauce and it's sweet from the honey. You get the richness of that garlic in there. This is really delicious. I guarantee it's going to be a crowd pleaser. If you're making this for yourself or you're making this for others, feel free to change up the recipe a little bit, really make it your own, change the levels of things, and really experiment with how changing the levels of certain ingredients really has an impact on that ending flavor. So maybe you want to add a little more vinegar to it, maybe you want to add a little bit more soy sauce, make it a little saltier, up or increase or decrease the garlic levels. But yeah, just make sure that however you're making it, you enjoy the flavors, because at the end of the day, you're making the food for yourself and your own approval is all that matters.